Ellen DeGeneres is a bitch. What? What?
If the alleged tape exists, where is it? And if it doesn't, why do so many people believe they've already seen it? One name keeps pulling the story back into focus: Ellen DeGeneres. Then there's Justin Bieber, Diddy, Dave Chappelle, and Joe Rogan's reaction. The footage is controversial. The theory is darker.
If you wanted to be around kids, you would pretend that you're really interested in helping kids. Yeah, I was in the Boy Scouts too. Nothing happened to me. And then I was in a good troop, but I was in the Boy Scouts with a bunch of crazy inner city kids. What else can I do? What else is what else is taboo? What else is forbidden? Like all this Diddy shit that's coming out. Like,
I was just gonna say, doesn't that sound topical?
Jesus Christ! The first day of the trial, did you pay attention to any of that stuff? I looked at it for like 10 minutes this morning, and I was like, I gotta stop.
For years, Ellen DeGeneres was television's smiling face of kindness. Justin Bieber was the teenage superstar who entered an adult industry before he could fully understand the machinery surrounding him. Then Diddy's federal case changed the way millions of people looked at old Hollywood footage. Suddenly, party invitations, backstage encounters, private recordings, and decades-old interviews were being examined like clues. Online theories began claiming that an alleged recording could connect Ellen and Justin to Diddy's private world, and that Dave Chappelle somehow knew more than he was saying. But there's a problem. The supplied evidence does not authenticate that tape. So why has this story become impossible for the internet to ignore?
The bad boy. Oh, he's bad boy now.
Signing the bad boy.
It's your icon alert. It's called He's Bad Boy Now. Bad boy. Bad boy.
Security, I found her in my closet.
I know. She was in your closet?
I found her in my closet. What's with your security?
I know, I gotta beef it up.
The story doesn't begin with Diddy, it begins with Ellen. For more than a decade, her television identity was built around one simple message: be kind. She laughed at celebrities, surprised strangers, gave away money, danced with audiences, and turned kindness into a recognizable brand. But long before Diddy's legal troubles, people were already questioning whether the woman audiences saw on television was the same person they encountered away from the cameras.
What was it like meeting Ellen, and is she a good person?
Let's just all go back to 2017, where I was the first person to call Ellen out before anyone else.
You called her out?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I called her out. I was like, Ellen's not that nice.
This was after you went on the show?
After I went on the show, and the world blew up about it and was like so mad at me about it, and then someone else said it, and then it was like, oh my god, Ellen's not nice. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Why do you say she's not nice?
I can't explain it. It was just really
energy?
I ran into her like backstage. It was like an awkward thing, and like the producers were really scared. I was like, what's going on? They were like, that was not supposed to happen. We're gonna get in trouble. It's like so weird.
That testimony doesn't establish a connection to Diddy. It establishes something much smaller but important. There was already a public conversation about Ellen's private behavior. Then came claims about the atmosphere behind her show.
Weird when you see like a lot of people saying that someone who seems so nice is not nice at all.
She doesn't seem nice, but that people have a very poor judge of character. She doesn't seem nice. It seems forced. People that are like that all the time, she doesn't seem nice. It's very forced. And whatever, you're allowed to be a right? You're allowed to be nasty to people. You're accomplished. You're a comedian. You did the whole thing. What you're not allowed to do is have a Guantanamo Bay situation in the backstage of your show where everybody's walking around afraid for their life, and it's like Abu Ghraib where they're hooked up to wires and they
dogs
have like
around them.
Yeah, she's got dogs and hoods. If an intern's late, they have a hood on. I don't support that.
The language in that clip is exaggerated and comedic, but the underlying allegation became part of Ellen's wider public controversy that the kindness viewers saw could coexist with a much harsher backstage environment. And that's where the story starts changing, because once Diddy's name enters the picture, old relationships suddenly look different. Diddy wasn't a peripheral celebrity. He built businesses, controlled entertainment ventures, hosted enormous parties, and spent decades moving through the highest levels of popular culture. Federal prosecutors later accused Sean Combs of running a criminal enterprise involving sex trafficking, racketeering, violence, and days-long sexual encounters he called freak-offs. A jury in 2025 convicted Combs on 2 transportation for prostitution counts, and he was sentenced to 50 months in prison. But here's where internet investigations often go wrong. Knowing someone isn't evidence of participating in their crimes. Ellen knew Diddy. They appeared together publicly, and one old exchange became particularly interesting after everything that followed.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that?
At the time, it was just celebrity banter. Ellen asking about a birthday party, Diddy saying she's invited. Nothing in that clip proves criminal activity. But years later, the same footage was pulled back into online discussions because audiences now knew that Diddy maintained private social environments far beyond the ordinary celebrity party. So the question changed. Not, was Ellen friends with Diddy? That is documented. The question became, how much did the people around Diddy actually know? And then another name enters the story, Justin Bieber. Justin wasn't a powerful executive. He wasn't an established Hollywood veteran, he was a teenager. That distinction matters. Justin Bieber became famous incredibly young, and his early career placed him around adults with enormous influence over entertainment, money, publicity, and access. One of the most discussed pieces of old footage involves Diddy describing time he was going to spend with the young Bieber.
Yeah, so as soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time.
That clip has been repeatedly re-examined online because of its wording. But what happened during those 48 hours is not established by the clip. There is no authenticated evidence in the supplied transcripts showing that Justin participated in a freak-off. And in 2025, Bieber's representative explicitly said he was not among Combs' victims. So why does the footage continue to bother people? Because the relationship didn't appear to end with one video. Another old interaction showed a much more familiar dynamic.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff. Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
Tell you my number.
Yeah.
Diddy talks about Justin not calling and not hanging out the way they used to. There's discussion of business connections. There's the Lamborghini. There's the house. There's Diddy's insistence on getting Justin's number. None of that proves abuse. But it demonstrates something real. Diddy had access to Justin during a formative period of his career. And that leads to the question the internet keeps asking, what did that relationship actually mean to Justin? Now the timeline becomes more uncomfortable, because Justin didn't only have a relationship with Diddy, he also appeared repeatedly around Ellen, and one particular interview has been replayed for years. In 2015, paparazzi photographs of Justin taken at a private villa in Bora Bora became public. The Ellen interview later discussed those images, and Justin visibly reacted with embarrassment. Contemporary coverage confirms the interview and the controversy surrounding the photographs.
You are obviously in a private bungalow.
Yeah.
And because usually we're all pretty good at spotting paparazzi.
Yeah.
They hide in boats and pretend to be fishermen, and we're like, you're paparazzi. I have friends, I've never seen them naked like that. And they don't bring me to Bora Bora.
Stop, you're making me blush, dude.
Look at the dynamic. Justin is embarrassed, Ellen keeps the segment moving, the audience laughs, on television it becomes entertainment. But years later, people started asking a different question. Why was a young celebrity's private humiliation treated as television content? Again, that doesn't prove anything about Diddy. It doesn't prove Ellen was part of a criminal operation. But it does reveal something about the power imbalance surrounding young celebrities. Justin was famous, yet fame didn't necessarily mean control. Sometimes it meant the opposite. The more famous he became, the more adults, cameras, networks, paparazzi, and executives wanted access to him. And that brings us to another uncomfortable element, cameras. Diddy's indictment alleged that freak-offs were often electronically recorded. Federal prosecutors also alleged that Combs used recordings as part of the broader system surrounding those encounters. That doesn't mean every hidden camera in Hollywood was connected to Diddy, but once recordings became central to the Diddy case, old television footage involving hidden cameras started being re-examined. Ellen herself had openly used hidden cameras for television pranks.
And I love doing this. We sent her to a fake dressing room where I was hiding. We put some hidden cameras and told her to go look at something in the bathroom, a picture of the two of us. And I scared her.
Guess what? So I thought that you were gonna scare me when I came in. I don't know why. So in my dressing room, you have the bathroom with the cameras. So I put towels all over the cameras, and I went and peed in Kobe Bryant's dressing room because I was scared.
Well, you're right. I was trying to scare you.
Really?
You got here an hour early, and I was trying to scare you, and it was too. So it doesn't matter if you put the stuff over the cameras. I had to be in there, and you got here before I could get. I was going to hide.
See?
You were right.
Yes.
You ruined it.
I'm sorry.
You ruined it.
I'm sorry.
Oh well, that's okay.
Okay.
I'll get you, my pretty. I'll get you.
Different situation, different purpose, different context, but conspiracy theories thrive on juxtaposition. One clip, another clip, two famous people, a timeline, then a theory. And suddenly separate pieces of entertainment history are being treated as though they were one continuous chain. That is where we have to slow down, because the next piece of the story is not evidence of Ellen's involvement. It's another celebrity account involving Diddy, Terrence Howard described an encounter in which Diddy had repeatedly invited him over and allegedly suggested that Howard teach him acting.
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to f*** you.
Howard's account is his own description of an encounter. It does not establish a criminal conspiracy, but it contributes to a recurring theme in these stories. Powerful people inviting less powerful people into private environments where the purpose of the meeting may not always be immediately clear. And when you look at Justin's story through that lens, the uncomfortable question becomes less about one alleged tape. It becomes about the environment surrounding young stars. Who protected them? Who watched them? And who decided what they were exposed to? That question brings us to another former child star, Aaron Carter. Aaron Carter entered entertainment as a child and spent much of his life under an enormous public spotlight. In his later years, he made disturbing public statements about his experiences and said that serious problems began when he was around 15.
I go on my Twitter and I see people saying, you look like you have AIDS, you should go die. I don't understand how I dedicated 22 years of my life to my fans, and now they turn on me.
Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old.
Aaron also publicly described fears about people allegedly coming after him and pleaded for money to obtain private security.
Silence breaker for my brother, who is a and they're after my life. My whole family is after my life, and they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million, and they don't want to pay me, and it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me. They owe me money, and they're trying to off. And I'm begging you and I'm pleading you, help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage, saying I wanted to hang myself.
His claims remain as claims. His death was officially ruled an accidental drowning. Nothing in the supply transcripts establishes that Ellen, Diddy, or any other person in the story caused his death. But Aaron's story matters because it illustrates why audiences became suspicious of the system surrounding child stars. A teenager enters the machine. The teenager becomes valuable. Adults control access. The public sees the success. And sometimes the person inside the system later says they were never as protected as everyone assumed. That is the emotional question sitting underneath Justin's story, not what definitely happened to Justin. We don't have evidence to answer that. The question is, what was a teenage superstar exposed to before he was old enough to understand the power dynamics around him? And now we reach the name that makes the title so explosive: Dave Chappelle. The supplied material repeatedly places Chappelle around the discussion of Ellen, Diddy, celebrity behavior, and alleged patterns inside Hollywood. But there's an important problem. There is no authenticated Dave Chappelle clip in the 3 supplied transcripts where he says, "I leaked an Ellen and Justin freak-off tape." There isn't one. So why does his name matter? Because conspiracy narratives often grow around implication. A comedian makes a joke, a clip resurfaces, a celebrity reacts, someone interprets it. Then another creator presents the interpretation as if it were confirmation. And suddenly the audience remembers the conclusion, but forgets where the evidence ended and the theory began. That's exactly what we need to separate here. Dave's alleged involvement is part of the story's mystery. It is not established evidence. And that distinction actually makes the question more interesting. If Dave really knows something, what is it? If he doesn't, why did his name become attached to the theory? And if a recording exists, where is the authenticated original? This is where Joe Rogan's role becomes important again. Not because the supplied material proves he watched an Ellen and Justin tape, it doesn't. Joe's actual contribution is that his public discussion of the Diddy case becomes another trigger for people revisiting the evidence. And that brings us back to the clip from the beginning. What exactly was Joe reacting to? A confirmed piece of evidence? A broader discussion about the Diddy trial? Or the same online storm that was already turning old footage into new theories? That's the unanswered question. And it matters because the title promises a reaction. But a reaction is not confirmation. Joe can be shocked by the allegations without confirming the most extreme theory surrounding them. And this is where another massive archive enters the conversation: Jeffrey Epstein. Not because the Diddy case and Epstein case are identical, they aren't. But because both became symbols of a broader public obsession with wealthy, powerful networks and the question of who knew what. In 2026, the Department of Justice's Epstein library contains millions of pages of released material, including documents, videos, and images. The DOJ has also warned that the production can contain false or falsely submitted material because material submitted to the FBI by the public was included in the release. One DOJ report listing names appearing in the released materials includes Beyoncé, but that fact has to be understood correctly. A person's name appearing somewhere inside a massive archive does not automatically establish a crime, a relationship with Epstein, or even meaningful involvement in the underlying investigation. That is why the Beyoncé angle should remain a context point, not a claim of wrongdoing. The same standard applies to everyone. Names can create curiosity, only context creates meaning, and evidence creates conclusions. So now put every piece back on the table: Joe Rogan, Dave Chappelle, Ellen DeGeneres, Justin Bieber, Diddy, old footage, party conversations, a teenage superstar, hidden camera television, Aaron Carter's warnings, and an alleged tape that the supplied material never actually authenticates. The internet can connect those names in seconds, but can the evidence connect them? That's the real investigation. Because if a genuine recording involving Ellen and Justin ever surfaces, the conversation changes immediately. It would need authentication, a chain of custody, a date, a location, context, and proof of what the footage actually shows. Until then, the alleged tape remains exactly that: an allegation, a theory, a mystery. And perhaps the most revealing part of this entire story is that the public has already started writing the ending before the evidence has arrived. Maybe the old footage means more than we thought. Maybe it means exactly what it appeared to mean at the time. Maybe Dave Chappelle knows something. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he simply reacted to a case that had already shocked the world. And maybe the most important question isn't whether Hollywood's biggest names can be connected. It's whether those connections survive once every claim is tested against the evidence. Because the internet can create a conspiracy in minutes. It takes much longer to prove one. And until that alleged tape is authenticated, one question remains. If it exists, where is it? What do you think? Is the old footage simply being reinterpreted after Diddy's conviction? Or does it raise legitimate questions about the way young celebrities were treated inside Hollywood's most powerful circles? Tell us where you draw the line between evidence and theory. Subscribe, because the next piece of this story could change everything.